Hi everyone, I'm Nick, welcome back to the Woodworkers Club. Today, with any luck, as long as the weather holds out, it's been drizzling this morning, I'm finally going to get my cleat wall up, or the cleats up. The cleat wall backing is up, but I'm trying to get the cleats actually cut today. So I've got, I'm probably just going to do 5 for the time being, which is going to do this end of the board, and then I may do some others that will go the other end. And I've probably got to decide that as I put them up, because I may have to support both sides on the centre stud. And if I just do one length, then the boards at the other end will only be supported on 2 studs, and that may not be strong enough, so I'll have a think about that once I get to actually put them on the wall. Right, so I've been having a play. This is my first time using a table saw, so I'm having a play trying to see what cuts are working, how well the 45-degree cuts are working on the boards, and how well they're going through. Something I'm struggling with a little bit is as I'm feeding the larger boards through, when the blade's at 45 degrees, it's actually drawing the board away. So it's not elegant, but it's another push stick, just so I can hold the boards either down or in as they go out the far side of the blade. So what I'm going to do is, for each board, I'm going to square off both sides. So it's at 40, yeah. So 14, sorry, 140 mil to take off the rounded edge on this side, and do that for 5 of them. Turn it over, bring it down to 13.5 mil, and do the same on the other side. And then I will refresh my mind as to what size I was actually going to use to actually take. So I'm going to take I think it's a 1-inch slice off the bottom to act as a brace for the bottom of any tool holders, and then another inch with a 45-degree cut from there to create the actual angle cleat. I will just run that through. I won't stop again till I've got those done, but I will run that through, and I will speak to you again when I've got that all done. Probably what I'll do is, when I actually publish the video, is that all this bit I'll just speed it up 5 times, so you don't have to hang about waiting for me to go through this. The other thing I have done, so I've put the attachment on the back of the table saw, and I've got my Henry plugged into it now, because I seem to be creating an awful lot of dust on an awful lot of surfaces. So I'm going to try and see whether or not that's actually any good. And yeah, we'll just see how that goes. Okay guys, right, so I've got all those cut. It worked out pretty well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start putting them on the wall. While the camera's off, I've marked up here the line where the door comes down, so that as I actually put the cleats up, now they can actually go on the face because there's enough clearance for them to actually go on there. I'll just need to mark them up somehow so that I can't use that area. I've also gone through my notes again as to how high the bench is actually going to be. So I've allowed for the rip vents plus 2x4 to sit above that, and then the 18mm ply to sit on top of that, which comes to there. So I'm just in the moment considering how high up from the bench surface I want the first cleat to be, and I've looked at loads and loads of videos and there doesn't seem to be any kind of standard, so I'm gonna make it up like I do with everything else. I will probably use something like probably one of the boards for the start of it, but I'm quickly going to measure up how tall the area is and kind of work back to see how many I get in. Not quite sure. I'll probably turn the camera off for that because I'll just have to work out some numbers to try and figure out what's the best way to get the most cleats in, to get the most use out of the wall, as I am so restricted on space. So I will make up some numbers and I will see you again very soon. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I have cut these down to 1200mm, so that they can actually run up to the centre stud, and then I can do another one on the other length. And I've put the 2x4 in, so I've got that levelled, and so this level here is the top of the plywood for the permanent bench that will be put in here later. And then I'm going to mount these in place. Now I haven't decided which one I'm going to do it on yet, but you'll have seen that I've got an extension lead to actually put in here. I'm probably not going to put it in this one because it's going to be too low down for any plugs to go in. Yes, it is. So I will actually mount it on the second one. So when I put these cleats in place, this one will go in as is and will be bolted in properly. The next one up, I will only put in 2 screws just to put it in place before I can actually route it out and run cables and put the plug actually mounted in it. So I am just now going to get on with putting them all in. I won't record it. I might do the first one, but then the rest of it I will just run through. So my process of what I'm going to do is get the cleat in, then the matching timber will sit on top, then I'll put a board in to give me my 30mm gap that I want. Actually, now I'm looking at it, I don't think 30mm is going to be big enough. Oh, it might be. Yes, yes. No, it won't actually. No, I have allowed for that. Yes, I have allowed for that because I worked it out. Yes. So I worked it out so that allowing for the height of the chamfer was there plus another 20mm, so it would go in without having a problem. So yes, so I'll get one cleat in place. I'm going to cut a board to put the spacer in between and then put the next one up. Okay, right, I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, first cleat is up. So the backing for whatever tool holders can now sit in there. And then the 30mm spacer that I've created can sit on top. With any luck, it's still level. Good God, it is. So what I'm going to continue to do is going to run through the rest of these, use the spacer on each one as I go up. The next one up, I will probably do 3 screws, so it's got even strength across it, because that's the one that will come back off to have the plug mounted in it. But that means me getting the router set up, and with the rain on and off outside today, I can't get my bench outside. So I will get the rest of these up, get the tool part of the cleat in place so I know they match up with the right piece of timber, and I'll be back again with you soon. I know there's plenty out there you're going to watch this, but this is really, really exciting for me. I've been trying to get to this spot for a year and 4 months, just to get to the point where I can get this wall built, put the bench back and get the top part of the bench put in place so I can start organising the rest of my stuff. COVID's been a real pain. It's made things extremely difficult. And that was only being ill for a month. Right, back soon.